Right now on SAU Weekly, a deep dive.
We've been around since 1882. We're going to have stuff.
We showcase the wonders inside the SAU Archives and big changes in the Beehive.
If you're running late to class and you need a quick bite to eat, you can just come and stop by the coffee shop and we'll have it ready for you.
We show you the breakfast upgrades students are buzzing about. And in sports, building on success. SAU men's soccer builds on their impressive start to the season, plus hooked on Honeypot. We preview this year's big Esports tournament in this week's edition of What's the Buzz. Your latest news in sports from St. Ambrose University starts right now.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Dominic Neely.
And I'm Ellie Seeberger.
The counselor was in at the mental health fair this last Wednesday. With multiple campus resources, student-led organizations, and local businesses advocating for mental health, the community showed up in big ways to make this mental health fair possible.
Today at the mental health fair, I mostly just visited and hung out at the campus ministry booth, and I just got to talk to a lot of students and just show them the importance of community and how that can impact their lives.
The fair was a success, with hundreds of students in attendance and hundreds of prizes handed out. You can always find the Counseling Center on the second floor of the Rogalski Center. Follow them on Instagram at SAU Counseling Center for more information and upcoming events.
Some of the most interesting stories on campus aren't in classrooms or textbooks, but in the history of the campus itself. And the SAU Archives preserve this history, giving everyone a chance to see how the past shapes campus life today. SAU Weekly's Mallory Helmig takes us inside to show how these special collections help keep the past alive.
Tucked away in a corner of our library is a place many students have never heard of. The SAU Archives, and inside are some of the rarest and most fascinating pieces of the school's history.
So here we only collect materials that relate to the history of St. Ambrose University, its students, faculty, staff, alumni, special collections. We have things that relate to St. Ambrose, the saint, and his contemporaries.
Annika Marquez, the college's archivist, works alongside student workers like Vinny DeVore to curate and preserve these stories.
The archives are important because they are a unique resource for students. It allows them to see and hopefully connect to their research in person. It preserves the memories of the most influential faculty, staff, and alumni at St. Ambrose, as well as St. Ambrose himself.
The university archives are open to everyone, not just history majors.
But students, they can come to the archives for any reasons. Sometimes it is a class project. Sometimes they want to do like a unique, fun project about, the hauntings on campus or other special interests. The options are unlimited, really.
From yearbooks to merchandise and film reels to mascots, the archives connect the university's history to students of today.
Students should care about the archives because it can be a source of pride for some students, and it's a place to gain perspective. Those two things can make learning worthwhile.
The archives may be one of SAU's best kept secrets, but it's a resource worth discovering. For SAU Weekly, I'm Mallory Helmig.
Thanks, Mallory. You can find the university archives on the third floor of the library. You can also access archival photos and videos on the library's website.
Students looking to purchase hot breakfast items with their morning coffee or stinger can now do so at our local coffee shop. The new breakfast menu features freshly made avocado toast, fruit toast, and 2 kinds of breakfast sandwiches. All hot breakfast items are between $5 and $6, and students have the option to pay with their BuzzBucks too.
Through the years, we've had students ask us if we had breakfast food, and the answer is kind of no, because we only had what was offered in the cooler section. So we had like little yogurts, and that's kind of about it. So Michelle decided to listen to the people and give them what they wanted. Our openers, they come in and they make a dozen sandwiches. So they'll make 6 sausage, egg, and cheese, and then 6 just egg and cheese. And that's it. So we sell until 11, and once they're gone, they're gone. And our toasts, they're made to order. So you can come in and up until 11 and order them, and we'll make them on the go. This makes the student experience better, because if you're running late to class and you need a quick bite to eat, you can just come and stop by the coffee shop and we'll have it ready for you.
The campus coffee shop is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4 p.m.
Galvin movie nights are making a comeback after a successful run last year. On select Mondays throughout the school year, students and anyone in the community are welcome to attend this free movie theater experience. This year, the theme is sing-alongs, with the next showing being the 70s classic Grease on Monday night.
We did High School Musical during Welcome Week, and then we have Grease coming up on September 22nd, which is Monday, and then we have Wicked on November 17th, which is going to be the Monday before Wicked Part 2 comes out.
And stay tuned as Galvin plans on showcasing an environmental film series this spring.
Coming up next on SAU Weekly, Hooked on Honeypot. The largest esports tournament in Iowa returns this weekend.
In this week's What's the Buzz, SAU Weekly's Grant Ward highlights preparations for this year's event. We'll be right back.
Visit Ragged Records, one of the largest record stores in the Midwest. Browse more than 30,000 new and used records, from timeless classics to new releases, and rare finds in every aisle. New to collecting vinyl? Check out our large selection of stereo equipment to spruce up your listening experience. Find your group at Ragged Records, located along Motor Row in Davenport, and in Rock Island next to Roz Talks.
Capture a piece of the past with Trash Can Annie, where vintage meets vibrant in every stitch. Browse our carefully curated collection of clothing and accessories, ranging from the late 1800s to current styles. Dress to impress with Laura's unique style and wardrobe consultations. Find a style and make it yours with Trash Can Annie, your destination for timeless fashion.
Whether you're a competitive runner, looking to stay fit, or just looking for comfort and support, Running Wild has you covered. Locally owned for more than 3 decades, Running Wild is the Quad City's trusted source for athletic wear and accessories. No matter your experience level, we'll help you find the right fit with all the top brands for running and walking and the latest in running apparel. Open 7 days a week, just up Brady Street. Don't walk, run to Running Wild, your run specialty store.
The largest esports event in Iowa will be holding its 7th annual tournament this weekend right here in the Quad Cities. Honeypot 7, Fireside Tales, hopes to continue this tradition, now in a new venue. In this week's What's the Buzz, SAU Weekly's Grant Ward talks with head organizer Albert Rassavong to discuss the process of creating an event of this size.
Thanks, guys. Joining me now is one of Honeypot's head organizers, Albert Rassavong. Thanks so much for joining us, Albie.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on.
Of course. So for those unfamiliar with this event, could you walk us through what Honeypot is?
Yeah, so Honeypot originally started here at St. Ambrose. We ran it with the alternating currents at the Currents Hotel, the Autograph Collection. And it was a project that I kind of did with Chase Newcomb, the former director of Esports here. And it slowly built up to kind of the largest esports tournament in Iowa and constantly growing. So we're on the 7th iteration. It's a, like I said, esports tournament where it has Smash, fighting games, Melee, Rivals of Aether, more of the fighting game and, you know, platform fighter stuff, not the FPS games or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you mentioned, obviously, going back to the beginning, you and Chase Newcomb really worked very hard together to get this event going. I saw it was originally planned for April 2020, but due to COVID, obviously that didn't end up happening, so 2021.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, so yeah, COVID happened and we were planning throughout all of COVID. It happened in March, you know, everything shut down, everything closed down, and we really couldn't run anything because you can't go nowhere. There's a what's it called? Like the mask mandates and stuff like that, and a mandate to not have people go out. So we were like, all right, let's, you know, sit at home, think about it, and see what we can do, what we can plan with it. And then from there, we got in contact with the Visit Quad Cities Bureau, so the Visitors Bureau for the Quad Cities, and it grew from there.
Mm-hmm. So going off then with that first Honeypot, what exactly was your role then, and how exactly has that role evolved over time?
Yeah, so actually I started off as a student, so like a student helper. I did a lot more photography and videography work. As y'all know, I was a comm student here first, and that's my specialty. Then I ended up was like Honeypot 2, Honeypot 3. I was like, I kind of want to get more involved with this. Like, how can I help? So Honeypot 2, Honeypot 3, I mainly focused on marketing, social media, partnerships, and it kind of helped me a lot because as you can tell now, it's grown into this crazy thing where the partnerships are the Visitors Quad Cities, Travel Iowa, 392 is some of the cool ones that's local here, and it helped me create a lot of connections here and help it run really, really well.
Well, then going off of a lot of that marketing that you've done, do you feel like were you heavily involved with a lot of the planning process for the themes for each event? Because I know Honeypot 4 was Lost in the Woods, Honeypot 6, Winter is Coming, this one's Fireside Tales.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there for some of my idea thinking when I was thinking about some of these ideas. So yeah, a lot of so that's something special about Honeypot is we do themes. It used to be a once a semester tournament, so bi-yearly, and then now it's yearly since it's so big and it's 3 days now. Each Honeypot has a theme. The second one was Save the Bees. The fourth one, like you said, was Lost in the Woods. The fifth one was the Honey Heist. So we always have these cool themes and try to play off of it and kind of do the stage set design by these themes, and it makes it really fun.
Well, then going off of the overall growth with Honeypot, Honeypot 6 was the largest esports event in Iowa history.
Yeah.
What would you consider to be the reason for that overall growth?
In all honesty, a little bit of luck, a little bit of charm, just having the right connections and just talking to the right people. I think we did a really good job of continuously throwing a good event, you know. Anytime you have something that's proven and that's really good and great, you're gonna always have people come back to it, right? It's like that. It's like Whitey's. Like, I love Whitey's to death. There's no ice cream spot I can go to now because I love Whitey's. It's always so consistent. It's always gonna give me something good.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of consistency, something that hasn't been consistent is the venue. The overall Honeypot venue has changed a lot over the years, starting off with that hotel. Now we're at TBK. Yep. How did that decision come to be with the changes in venues, especially with TBK now? And what success are you hoping for with this venue change?
Yeah, so I actually just talked about this in a facilities and management class. There's really some important things when you're running an esports event, right? You need the space. We were outgrowing the Putnam. There was literally no space. You can attest to that. Internet speed. So we had 5 streams, and it only had 50 download and 100 up. So for people who know that, it's very slow internet that can't really run anything. The streaming barely was struggling. It froze sometimes, and we're like, wow, we can't do this. And the Putnam isn't in a great spot for tourism, if you think about it, right? The Putnam's on a hill where, when you're thinking about Smashers, they're younger age people, they're high schoolers, college kid people, where they want to walk to things. They want to get to places and get food super accessible and very easily. So the reason why we switched from Putnam to TBK was, 1, space, location, things to do, and the internet speed. So with the Putnam, we have 1 gig up, 1 gig down, which is 1,000 megabytes per second, if people don't know, which is a big increase from 100. And then it's a very big venue where we're on 4 basketball courts. It's 64,000 square feet almost. There's an arcade there, there's food there, there's McDonald's there. The Betplex area is just continuously growing, and we just want to continue to support that and continue to support the QC growing. So it was a perfect place where it has all the things that you need to run a great event.
Of course, and not only with the QC grind, but really Iowa and Midwest as a whole, because I know you guys have a lot of volunteers helping out with this event, lots of vendors coming in to support different things, art, food, things like that. How has their support helped during planning and during the event itself in past years?
Yeah, vendors are always key. Same as, I would say the big 3 in terms of bringing people out, right? It's staff is number 1, because of the people who are working it. If you like the people who are working it, you're gonna come out for that. Vendors, if there's a really cool vendor that you like, you're always gonna come out. And one of our consistent vendors is Keith, Studios, which is a controller modder. He always comes out to every single Honeypot, and he makes, I think, over 3 days, $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, insane amount of money. And you know, the vendor fee is $150, but you get a lot of business, a lot of traffic for coming out to Honeypot. Next is the volunteers. Volunteers are always great for helping us. There's people like Kilo and you who constantly just preach about how good Honeypot is. So it always helps that, it's a village. It takes a village for it to be successful.
It's really true. So Honeypot 7 is this weekend.
Yep.
Where can people from home go ahead and watch this?
So you can watch Honeypot on 5 different streams. For the FGC stream, you can watch it at twitch.tv/CFGC. For the Melee stream, you can watch it at twitch.tv/McNutty. For the Rivals of Aether stream, you can watch it at twitch.tv/SpotlightKC. And then for the main alt stream and side alt stream, for the main alt stream, you can watch it at twitch.tv/UGSgaming. For the side one, you can watch it at twitch.tv/7.
Okay, perfect. Well, Thank you so much for being here, Albie.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Grant. Coming up next in sports, building on success. Men's soccer continues their impressive start to the season.
Join SAU Weekly's Ross Willerth as he takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up. Ready the studio in 3, 2.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
We begin with breaking news after a vehicle crashed into a non-residential campus building overnight.
We should always have places to promote inclusivity on and off campus.
You guys got the opportunity to scrimmage against 3 Division I basketball teams. How did your team benefit from that later on in the season?
Well, I think it's just a great experience for our players.
Being able to run and be around the people that I enjoy gives me a reason to be passionate about running.
Welcome to Stingers, discussions with SAU Bees over everyone's favorite drinks.
What happens to you though, seriously, if you drink the whole cup?
You get all your papers done. And
right.
It was a busy week for the St. Ambrose women's volleyball team, and it all started last weekend with the Bees hosting the SAU Invitational. After starting 0-2, they went head-to-head against the Tabor Blue Jays on Saturday. Right off the bat, a serve by Alexa Orozco puts the Bees in the lead in Game 1, 24-19. Then, it's Grace Beitzel who takes advantage of an amazing set by Inés Marquez and hits the ball, leaving no room for the Blue Jays to respond. Then Marta Barangina pulls the Bees further into the lead with this spike that absolutely shatters the Blue Jays' defense. The first and second sets were won by the Bees, and the third was set up nicely by another hit from Grace Beitzel. Bees go on to win 3-0. On Tuesday, the Bees played Trinity Christian at home. The Bees won a decisive quick 3 sets to seal the match. Olivia Johnson shined with a strong 7 blocks to help lead her team to victory, alongside Grace Beitzel, who had a team high of 11 kills. And yesterday, the Bees hoped to extend their winning streak as they traveled up to Chicago to face off against St. Xavier. Grace Beitzel led the Bees with 16 kills, but the Bees would end up losing 3-0 to the Cougars. The Fighting Bees soccer team has been on a roll recently, trying to continue their winning record of 6-1. The Fighting Bees hosting the Trojans from Hannibal University. The Bees go down 1-0, but they get their first goal of the game from Josh Simon. And about a minute later, they scored another goal from Joe Campbell, assisted by Louise Ferbeyer, who also scored a goal during the game. And goalie Dawson Yegi also had 2 big saves during the game. The Bees win 4-3 to move their record to 7-1. Next Wednesday, they travel to St. Francis to take on the Fighting Saints. And there will be plenty of home sports to catch here at home this weekend. Be sure to swarm to the field, the pitch, or the court for all the Fighting Bee action. On Saturday, women's soccer takes on the College of Holy Cross at St. Vincent's Athletics Complex. Game time is set for 2 p.m., and Saturday night at 6, SAU football takes on 0-3 William Woods for their second home game of the season. If you can't make it, be sure to catch all the action from Jack and Pat Bush Stadium live on KALA 106.1 FM. Best of luck to all of our Fighting Bees at home or away this weekend. And that'll do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Ross Willard.
Thanks, Ross. And one more story before we wrap up sports. We have some big news in cross country. SAU TV's very own Ross Willard has been named your CCAC Runner of the Week.
Ross won the Fighting Bee invite in a time of 26:21. He also has been named the SAU TV Runner of the Week as well. Way to go, Ross.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them on The Hive at sauthehive.com.
We'll leave you with this week's campus question. What's your favorite class? Thanks for watching.
Hey, I'm Will. My favorite class is drawing with Mr. Lee. He's a pretty cool guy and he loves his job.
Go ahead. I'm Luke. My favorite class is negotiations with Professor Morales, and it just translates really well for stuff I'm going to do outside of school as a sales major.
I'm Kelsey, and my favorite class right now is probably anatomy and physiology, although it's really challenging. I love Brenda. She's an amazing teacher, and the material's just been really fun to learn so far.
My favorite class is fluid mechanics, and it's because we just do experiments and stuff.
My name is Kevin, and my favorite class is fluid mechanics because we get to do a lot of experiments.
My name is Jania, and my favorite class would have to be human behavior because I personally want to know why people act the way that they act.
Hi, I'm Mallory, and my favorite class is my lifespan and developmental psychology class because it's really interesting.
Hi, my name is Jayla, and my favorite class is Biolab because I get to do different experiments every day and learn new things.
Hi, I'm Liv, and my favorite class is my nutrition class because it's really interesting and the teacher is really nice.
My name's Ben Wilson, and my favorite class is Econ because who doesn't like learning about supply and demand?
My name's Danny. My favorite class here at SAU is probably kinesiology because it's really interesting and I really like my professor.
My favorite class is A&P 1 and 2 with Dr. Rice because he's my favorite professor.
Hi, my name is Everett Parker. My favorite class at St. Ambrose so far has been Media and Society, just because you're able to go with different topics and actually study how media works and what media rights you have and how things are covered. So I just think it's really interesting for my major because I do digital media and I also major in marketing, so I think that's very important. And it's just overall, it's just a fun class. So.
Hi, my name's Tyler. I'm a sophomore here at SAU, and my favorite class is Anatomy and Physiology with Kirk.
Hi, my name is Nora, and my favorite class is Abnormal Psychology because it's going to pertain to my future career as a physician assistant.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm a sophomore. Currently, my favorite class, it's got to be Com 230 with Lizzie. That's media writing. The main reason I love it is because she's just honestly a teacher that's she's trying to teach you it, and she's doing it in such a cool way.
My name's Elijah House. I'm on the track team, and my favorite class is Intro to Sports Management with Tyler Spencer.